Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike video game created by Hopoo Games, which follows a crew of travelers as they try to navigate a foreign planet to rescue their stranded comrades. The main gameplay of Risk of Rain 2 has players traverse the harsh environments of Petrichor 5 as survivors, killing monsters and fighting bosses as the game gets increasingly more difficult the longer you play. You are not shit out of luck though, as when you kill enemies, you earn money to purchase chests filled with all sorts of items that buff your character in various ways. There are 17 diverse playable characters in the game, but my favorite to play is Mercenary. He is solely a physical attacker, and I like him because his kit lets him slice through enemies with ease. Because of the way the game is made, theoretically every playthrough is different. After each run you get the stats of how you played, but you don't keep any of the items you've collected for next time. And since the items you get out of chests are randomized, there's an infinite number of possibilities for how a run could end. During my first playthrough, I played according to the procedures previously discussed. I went through each stage fighting monsters and the respective mini-bosses, collecting as much items as I could until I got teleported to the moon of Petrichor 5 on stage 6. The moon acts as the normal final stage of the game. There are 4 pillars with different attributes that need to be powered up, and once completed, you are able to face off against the King of the Moon, Mithrix. After fighting tirelessly through all 4 phases of the boss fight, Mithrix falls to your hand while the moon begins to fall apart. After making it back to the ship and escaping into space, you look back and the moon is completely engulfed by the void. By Ian Bogo's definition of procedural rhetoric, Hopoo Games created Risk of Rain 2 with the intent to persuade players with the idea of infinite possibilities. However, this is not the only persuasive element, as the game also offers new content to players through the Survivors of the Void and Seekers of the Storm DLC packages, which offer new items, stages, enemies, and even playable characters. These extension packs are a way for developers to persuade players into spending more for the chance at even more limitless possibilities. With all the new stuff, there are just that many more ways to play. If this sounds familiar, that is because Risk of Rain's procedural rhetoric encourages queer gaming. Beyond the surface of the game lies multiple ways to switch up your gameplay. Within the base game, the 6th stage does not technically have to be the last. By donating some money to our little newt friend, a blue portal appears after the teleporter event, which takes you to the newt's lair. Here you can buy lunar items that give you a boost in one area and a handicap in another. If that's not to your liking, what this also does is allow players to loop another 5 stages before fighting Mithrix, or if you so choose, another 5 on top of that. This does come at the risk of your game completely shitting itself, but the Risk of Rain community supports your game crashing as a valid form of beating the game. Another way that the game supports queer gaming is through artifacts. These are secrets you obtain through various specific needs that can help you in the future. The artifact important for the purposes of this project is the Artifact of Command, which allows players to specifically choose their items instead of being randomized by the game. This allows players to build their survivor with items that would better buff their character as opposed to randomly getting a useless item. Choosing items does come at the cost of having to choose while being bombarded by monsters, but it does make it easier for players to become incredibly overpowered as well. Besides content from the base game, Risk of Rain 2 also has a vast modding community with free player-made content. As you can see, there are some crazy things that are available to players, like a playable Goku and Sonic. Just like the DLC available for purchase, mods add a whole bunch of new content, but just at a greater scale. Modding is also a way for players to reclaim the space within the game, allowing players to take control over Petrichor 5 while the game thinks you're still within the confines of the cave it created. Not only is adding mods just fun to the game, but it's also completely supported by the Hopoo developers, as it persuades players to keep playing and see what modding has to offer. Overall, Risk of Rain 2's procedural rhetoric encourages the infinite possibilities of queer gaming while giving players a fresh experience each time. Whether it's a normal playthrough of 6 stages or 60 stages of pure chaos, Risk of Rain 2 has so much to offer that it has been one of the most popular roguelike games over the past 5 years. As someone who originally hated this game and thought there was way too much going on, I can safely say that this is one of the greatest gaming experiences I have ever had, and I highly recommend that you play this game. It is very rare you get this much replayability in a game where each time you play feels like a fresh start. And that's how I know that the procedural rhetoric of Risk of Rain 2 had worked on me. Thank you.